Hey, Brian Freeman with Freeman's Construction. Hey, today I wanted to go over our specifications book. So a lot of times there's questions of how do we make all of our selections for our house? How do we get all the selections done for our remodel we're getting ready to do? So this is something that we do for every single one of our projects, and it helps everybody to get on the same page of what needs to be done and what we got to get selected. So the first thing that we do is once we're done with the preliminary design phase, we go into the final design, which is where we go through the structural engineering and get the final plans done. So once that's completed, we got final bids that we get on all the different parts of the house, and then we will build out this specifications book. And each one of these is done very specifically for each project. Every one is different since they're custom. This particular project here is for a custom home and an ADU that we're getting ready to build, or an accessory dwelling unit. This is about 66 pages long, so it's got a little bit of thickness to it. And this takes us either from half a week to a week to write all this up and make sure everything is exactly as it needs to be for your project. So we will actually, once we're done writing this, we'll send it back to the owner so you can take a look at it and see if there's anything that needs to be changed. Then we'll make any adjustments once we get a final version of it. So I wanted to walk you through a little bit about how we use it and what's inside of here. So the first part of it is we have obviously a table of contents that's in here. So that's going to be your second page. Flip this up here, make it a little easier. But so you got a table of contents, and then we go that's here. We go into an exclusion page that basically there's items that could come under question. Are they included or not? We try to specify all of those here, so there is no miscommunication. So, and that's really, this is the reason that the most amount of time goes through this is everything is obviously verbalized during the whole process, but we want to make sure everything's documented so there just isn't any friction during the build, and everybody knows exactly what they're getting and what they have to do. So, all right. So then once we get past those exclusions, we've gone into allowance items, and these are items that are either have been decided to be left open as far as an allowance, to where they may go up or may go down, or these are items that have not been selected. So these would be like plumbing fixtures, electrical fixtures, any type of other flooring allowance, maybe something else in the house that you still need to make decisions on. We get bids on them anyway, so we have a good hard number to plug in that we know that we can get the work done for that based on what you've already told us you want done as far as the level of finish or the grade of the product. So these are real accurate numbers. We know we can get the quality done that you want, but it still can move a little bit based on what you decide you want as your final decision. So those are spec'd out here. You're going to have probably a page, 2 or 3 of those, and there's a section. You're going to see the section that it's in that's here. You'll have a description of what that is, and then the allowance amount that's on the side here. So once we get through that, we're going to actually go into the sections of the spec book, which are going to be, or actually, I'm sorry, we're going to go back to the selection deadlines and cover those. So the selection deadlines are going to be, once we establish a start date for your project, that's going to go right here. So once we have the start date, we're going to then look at every selection needs to be made, and we're going to give you a date on when you have to have that selection made by. So let's say we need plumbing fixtures selected, or it's going to go in a month from now. We're going to tell you that needs to be selected 2 to 4 weeks ahead of that time frame. So right now, and you got about 2 weeks to finish it. So we want to be a little bit ahead of schedule with that selection, so it gives us a little leadway in case we have to order some materials, something's delayed, and we don't have to slow the schedule down on the build for your house. So once we get past the selection deadlines, that's about 4 pages long typically, as far as what needs to be done. We're going to go into the actual sections. So first one's house plans, cost analysis, and engineering, interior design, basic little description of what the project is, the size and that. And then we go into getting into grading, engineering, excavation. And we start going through this, and it'll tell you what the allowance is for that line item, and then it'll also go through and talk to you about what what's spec'd out here underneath the red X's that we have here. Then as you go in and you actually have to get into actual items that are being selected, let's show an example here of, here's an example for drywall. Here's what's spec'd out as drywall above. Down below, we have a wall ceiling texture, wall and ceiling texture below. We need to figure out if you want a light, medium, or heavy texture. Check a box there. Then we have finished carpentry and lumber. That's normally a pretty long selection as far as selections need to be made. And you're going to have a box here for all the interior selections to be made. Each one here, interior doors, interior pocket doors, pocket frames, casing, baseboard, and then we go into the exterior. So and this goes on and on, it just gets kind of crazy, but all the quartz slabs, countertops, selections, vanity slab, backsplash with slab, edge detail, it goes on and on until we get to every single detail in that house is figured out, and you have a roadmap basically of what you got to do to select it. So once all the project is done, our office goes back through, we fill out every single selection that was made, put it in the spec book, and then you're able to have that forever to where you can, if you ever have to reference back for paint colors or anything at all in the house, plumbing fixtures, whatever it may be, you have that and you have the exact make and model number of that product. So so basically super good roadmap. And again, this is done once we're once we've completed the final design of the bid phase, and we're moving forward this as far as building your house. This is the final step before the building agreement is signed, and we will actually map all this out. So that is talking about spec book and how we use it to help build your home. So I hope that helped to clarify some questions. If you have any more questions about this or any part of our process of building, please feel free to reach out. And it was great talking to you, and have an excellent rest of your day.